Hey everyone, this is Xed, and from this week on I'm going to be filming my weekly finds videos in a few short sections that I'm going to paste together because my holiday started, so I'm home more often, and to be stacking up all this stuff all the week, I just want to clean them up. So this is what I got on the flea market. Darkstalkers 3 figurine set. It has Dimitri and Lilith. Really cool. The guy had a couple of these. I was actually thinking of buying more, but not too many people collect these, so I wasn't sure if it was worth it. And they take up a lot of space. As for the other weeks, this week was no different. A lot of PC games. I've only recently started picking these up, and so far I've been picking up great titles. Let's zoom out a bit. Half-Life, Conquest Earth. Never heard of this game, but it looks to be a RTS game, and I like those. Stupid Invaders, really cool adventure game. Then something that looks really cool, it's quite heavy as well, limited edition of Death Trap Dungeon. I'll show you what's inside. It has a playable card set, it's still sealed by the way, the Death Trap Dungeon disc. Underneath there's a book, and there's also tickets to the London dungeon, but I think those kinda went over their time already. Then Blood 2, The Chosen, has a really cool, as you can see the front is not flat, the face is highlighted. And then Deus Ex. I tried this game when it came out, but I think it was too complicated for me at the time. I never really gave it much time, but I know it's been a very, very highly regarded game. Then some PS3 games I picked up. These were also incredibly cheap that I just couldn't pass on them, even if I had some of them already. GTA 4, probably the game on the PS3 I hate most. I just don't like GTA. I like linear games and games with a purpose and not beating up hookers. Soul Calibur 4, I actually have the steelbook version of that. FIFA 09, I don't have this one, so I'm keeping it. Topspin 3, also keeping this one. Red Dead Redemption, I'm keeping this one till I have the special edition. And then to complete my Duke Nukem set, the Duke Nukem Manhattan Project. Oh, let's focus. There we go. Total Mutant Mayhem. This is a side-scrolling Duke Nukem game. I think I've played it once or twice. Let's see if we can get a focus. Yeah, there we go. It's quite nice, but it wasn't as good as Duke Nukem 3D from what I remember. Then Doom 3, a game that literally made me, well, not literally because I didn't, but it scared the hell out of me. I was playing this, and at some point my control unit from my headset fell on my lap while I was being attacked by spiders, and I screamed like a little girl. Then Warcraft 3, one of my favorite games of all time. I actually like Warcraft 2 a lot more, but that's because I played that online so much. And then StarCraft with Brood War Extra. Then some NES Pirates. By the way, if you paid close attention, you could have noticed the cut, because this is Thursday at the moment, and I started the last video on Monday, I think. This is some pirate cartridges, and well, this is actually not a pirate, this is the Asian version of Tetris. Let's zoom in on that, because it shows. Come on, focus. Yeah, there we go. Asian version. This one was sold in Holland quite a lot, because I think at some point there was a shortage in Tetris cartridges, so they imported these. These have a much wider cassette, and you don't see them quite often, but you see them from time to time. These are really pirates. This is a 6-in-1. Gotta get used to this new camera to get it to focus. There you go. 6-in-1 with A-suit gun contra, shotgun contra, flame gun contra, and some other contras. Probably just some hacks of Contra with extra weapons or just one weapon. Then this is a 100, no, 72 in 1 pirate, a 4 in 1 pirate. This one's actually quite common. I've had this one quite a few times. 115 in 1. This I haven't had before. Doesn't have a game list. Oh, there, it does have a game list. And Super 160 in 1 pirate. Then a guide for Warcraft 2. This is by far my favorite Warcraft game. I've played this game online around the time when Warcraft 3 came out, so it was over its peak, but I still played it for hours and hours and hours and hours, and I was quite good at it actually. Then something really cool, I ordered this for a friend of mine, a friend you all know, Ahans76, the famous collector with the full sealed PlayStation 2 set. He also collects Neo Geo AES, and this game was in great condition and not too expensive for its condition, so I bought it for him, and I'm going to be shipping it to America. This is actually my first AES game I have. Well, I don't have it actually, but you know what I mean. This is the manual Sengoku, and the cartridge. It smells still new, so it's really in absolutely mint condition. Then Devil's Deception for the PS1. It's an adventure game. Shadow Madness. And another Suikoden. I haven't had a spare Suikoden for I think 2 to 3 years, and this week I got 2. So what are the odds, huh? And then something I found in the attic. I cleaned up the attic to make room for my console boxes, etc. And I found this. It's Street Fighter, and it's, oh, don't knock over the camera. It's Street Fighter for the how do you call this thing? Amiga. The last thing for today, or at least this day of filming, is a stack of PS2 games I just picked up at the second-hand store in Den Bosch. I went there with my girlfriend, and they had a second-hand store, so I pillaged it. They had a nice second game for half price thing going, so I picked up quite a few. Half of these are Phoenix games, so absolutely crap, but as I've said before, I collect the obscure and crappy shit they published. So these are to fill in the set. Robin Hood, The Siege 2. No clue what this is. Don't really care either. Supercard GP Mythmakers. This one actually looks decent. I have no clue if it's decent. If you have played this, please let me know in the comments if this game is any good. As I said, I don't expect it to be any good, but who knows. Then Nightshade. I picked this up because it looked cool. It's a Sega game. So yeah, no clue if it's any good though. Seven Blades. It's a Konami game that you don't see too often. I actually didn't have it yet, so that's why I picked it up. Another Konami game that you don't see often. This one is actually the first one I see of these. Well, I have to say that I'm not really actively looking for it, but when I saw it I couldn't pass up on it. Firefighter FD18. Then the Gregory Horror Show. The Capcom game. Looks quite funny with the square characters. Jade Cocoon 2. You don't see this one in the wild quite often. It's not that rare online, but this is only the second I've seen not online. So for a few euros I picked it up for my trade/sale pile. Same goes for this Castlevania, Curse of Darkness. The guy in the store told me this game was quite good, but it's a 3D Castlevania and I tend to stay away from those. Another Phoenix game. Looks like another crappy Tycoon version. Then Superbike GP. I already don't like racing games, so when they're made by crappy developers, I'm not gonna play this. Unless it's something super amazing. Let me know if it is. But I don't expect anyone to tell me that. Then Shinobi. I heard this game was quite disappointing, but nevertheless I bought it. And then the last one, Metropolis Mania 2. It's a Natsume game. These guys are famous for the Harvest Moon series, etc. And they tend to have quite low print runs. So whenever I see a Natsume game for not too expensive, I pick them up, because 9 out of 10 times you don't see them often, and half of the time they're quite expensive. So that was it for Thursday. So this is part 3. Some PC games, Tunguska and Might and Magic. Picked these up at the flea market yesterday. A bunch of PS2 games I traded with a forum member. Furry Tales. You can see the little logo, you know what that means. Radio Helicopter 2, one of the 505 Game Street games I was still looking for. Test Drive Unlimited Steelbook, and this one's really glossy, as you can see. Feels quite cheap, and it's German. I'm not sure if this is a German only Steelbook. Then I picked this up yesterday, and I didn't know this was out there. It has a DVD, Jak and Daxter Trilogy. Comes in an extra sleeve, as you can see over here. Didn't have this version. And then Champions Return to Arms. That's Champions of Norath 2. So that completes that mini set for me. Some PC stuff. I actually didn't buy these, but I found these in the attic. So just showing that I have these. Warcraft 2 Battle.net Edition. I played this so much. Amazing game. Warcraft 3, also a great game, but I sucked at it. Command & Conquer General 0 Hour. It's the expansion for Generals. Here we have Generals. Unreal Tournament 2004. Really played this a lot too, especially at LAN parties. And Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne expansion. Then 2 PlayStation 2 games. SingStar 80s, the UK version. Has a few different songs. And then Daisy Ada Games of India. This is another one of those India only games. Released in India only, I mean. And I think there's about five of these out there. I already showed you the Hanuman Boy Warrior. If you want to know more about them, there's a topic on the forum. Then some PS1 games. Digimon Rumble Arena. Baby Universe. It's quite uncommon. It's not even a game, it's like a kaleidoscope thingy for when you're spacing out. Lost Vikings 2. Centipede. Puzznik. Actually didn't know this was out there. I have the NES version, which I liked. Then Ballistic. I hadn't heard of this game, but when I look at the pictures, it looks a lot like that popular Flash game Zuma, and or Montezuma's Revenge, or really cool game that is. Then Asteroids, Die Hard Trilogy Part 1, and Ballerburg, and that's again a Phoenix game, as you can see. Then the last 2 items I got in today. This one was an English auction, UK auction, that wasn't, the guy wasn't shipping to Holland, so I asked the forum member, he bought it for me, then shipped it to me, so I'm really grateful for that, Hot Fuzz. And this Crash Bandicoot Warped combo pack, so with the CD case. The box is not in great condition, but you don't see these quite often, so I was happy to be able to buy that. And last but not least for this week, Metal Gear Solid Limited Edition Premium Package. As you can see, the top of the box is quite battered. Wasn't quite expensive, so that was okay. But the good thing is, this t-shirt was unworn and the poster was still there. And usually if you find these, either the t-shirt and the poster are worn, used, or missing. The only thing that's not complete in this version is the memory card stickers. I'm missing 2 of the stickers. The previous owner used them. So that was it for this week. See you next week.